Hi Virgo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And so Virgo, we're going to be doing end of May reading 2024 for you right before we get into June. I want to get into your energy. I want to look at what energy you're sitting with right now. It could be a problem you're facing, a pattern that's showing up in your life, a decision you have to make. And I'll get a clear indication of that in the first row of my reading. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at what's having an impact on that particular situation you're sitting in. And by that I mean I'm going to look at what's coming up from your shadow that needs to heal. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of shadow work in the second line of my reading. And if you're not familiar with shadow or shadow work, I've left a video down below in the description box, and I think I'll leave it in the comment section as well. And this video is called my powerful 4-step guide to shadow work. And it really is about facing your own shadow, and that's really about facing those parts of ourselves that we've shoved away, and they continue to live in the unconscious, and we really don't know what they are because the unconscious is hidden to us. But because it's not healed, it continues to kind of wreak havoc on our life, and it'll come up, and you'll start to see, certain situations that are repeating themselves, and patterns are showing up in your life, and you're wondering, why are these same people in my life, or why am I doing the same thing over and over again, and thinking that you've already been through this and already healed this. So yeah, and that's what's going to really shed a light on what situation you're sitting in. And then finally, the third line, we're going to look at some guidance from the tarot, and I'll also leave you with a bit of guidance from myself, and I'll leave you with some videos from my other channel, Carol Cares. And on that channel, I have some really good videos about how to heal, helping you to heal on this healing journey that we're all on, even if we don't know it. So I'm going to start off with the Tarot of the Abyss by Tourian. And then I'm going to clarify each card that I pull from this deck with some Rider-Waite cards. So let's begin a couple shuffles here with the Tarot of the Abyss. And hopefully I'll just get one card for each section. Sometimes the tarot wants to give me a couple. So let's start off here with what situation is Virgo dealing with. And we do the one card already. We get the Awakening, which is the Judgment card in the Rider-Waite deck. I like that Tarot-Waite deck. A new term here. Okay, so I'll just move some things around here. Okay, so secondly, I want to go, what's coming up from your shadow? I want to look at what's coming up from your shadow here. Oh, that one came up quickly. The 9 of Cups is coming up from your shadow to heal. And finally, what guidance does the tarot have for Virgo here? What guidance does the tarot have for Virgo? That was nice and clean. The Lovers. Excuse me. Okay. Move these over so you can see them. All right. Let's have some cards from the Rider-Waite, some clarifiers here for this Awakening card. Incredible art on this these cards. So all right, let's begin with some clarifiers for the Awakening. So far you have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. A couple more, please. Oh, should have ended it there because quite a few of them came out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take what fell out on the table. Makes it easier here. All right, we have the Tower card. We have the 10 of Cups. 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 10 of and the Seven of Pentacles. You have quite a few interesting cards here on the top. Wow. Okay, the Nine of Cups here. Tell me more about this Nine of Cups. And this one. And another card, please. All right. I'll end it before too many come out. All right, the Ace of Wands in reverse. Sometimes the tarot can be really chatty. Today it's really chatty, which is good. Eight of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. I can be here sometimes, and it won't talk, and it won't give me cards. Okay, the Lovers. Let's go for some clarifiers here. Whoa, it is chatty today. Wow. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and you have a few more here because, you know, the tarot had to have its last say. Nine of Cups, and the Seven of Swords in reverse. I think it's going to be a big reading. I can tell already. Just some of these powerful combinations of cards is what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing here. All right, so let's begin with the Awakening card. This individual that seems to be, you know, rising from the ashes of the phoenix with this big wing, and you can see this wing on this individual here. There really is like a rebirth of rising here, and so this is a powerful card to start out with. I think what's happening here is, for me, when this Judgment card, this Awakening card comes out, I mean, you have to be really careful with that awakening word because there's just so many people that are walking around nowadays telling themselves or telling people that they're awake when they're not doing the work. Bottom line is they're not doing the necessary work that needs to be done. And so I can see here that there's this, on your part, there's this real awakening in that you're becoming more aware and you're feeling like there's sort of a calling out there for you. You're being very much nudged maybe to go towards something. It could be anything, you know, it could be, you know, maybe a new job, or it could be maybe you want to leave your job and you want to do something else. It could be just something that you're really becoming aware that there's something else that you want to do. And maybe you've been on this sort of journey, this healing journey for a while, and you're ready to start to go towards that particular thing. And the Knight of Pentacles is coming up here, and it's in reverse. And the Knights in my deck are all about wanting freedom. It's like an adolescent part of us. And if you can picture an adolescent and how there's nothing more that an adolescent wants is to be free. And they want to be free through their authenticity. They just want to be themselves. And the Knight of Pentacles is definitely a very slow moving knight, but it wants freedom. It wants freedom from maybe some health issue that you've had. It wants freedom from their workspace. It wants freedom to feel worthy. And because the Pentacle is all about our self-worth. But this is in reverse here. And so what I'm seeing is because it's in reverse, this tells me there might be some anger going on with you, or there might be some hopelessness that you're feeling. Because think of a teenager when you hold them back and you tell them no. Well, they can get quite angry and they can feel quite hopeless, actually. So I'm wondering if you're sitting here in a place where there's this part of you, and it's very strong, that wants to take your life. You're finally becoming aware. You're finally, noticing that, you know what? There's something else I want to do. There's something else I need to do. I mean, it could be something like, if this has to do with your health, where you're just finally, you know what? I'm taking action here. I'm tired of feeling like I've been stuck in this situation for too long, and you're just finally becoming aware and going, it's time to get out of this. I mean, it could be you sitting in depression because, this Knight of Pentacles, the Pentacle has everything to do with your health, like I said. So You know, it could be you having sat in this state of depression for so long and saying, you know what, I'm done. I got to get myself out of this. It could be something like that, but it's a real awareness that's come here. Because I see that you're sitting in a tower moment. There's been this tower moment that has brought about this awakening for you. It's like, because the tower moments only come up in my readings, and they don't come up often, but they come up when tower moments are these big events that happen in our life. And I've had a few of them, and they're not fun. They're very, very painful. And they're tower moments where while you're going through them, they're incredibly painful, and maybe you're going through it right now, or maybe you're sitting with the repercussions of it. But there's something that you look back in hindsight and you go, okay, I get why that happened, but it was painful as fuck. So I'm wondering if you're sitting in it or you're just coming out of it, and it was a tower moment that caused this for you to finally just go, you're awakening to what you need to do now. And the universe says, here's your 10 of Cups here. The universe wants you to have full access to the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups are all about our emotions. We're meant to have this full range of emotions. We're meant to feel everything. And so it really makes me think that you have been sitting in a state of hopelessness here, because because we're not meant to, like, emotions are meant to flow in, and we feel them, and that helps. Feeling them will help us release them, and then we let them go, and so they flow in excuse me, and they flow out of us. And I think that's why I mentioned this awakening thing at the beginning, where a lot of people go around and say that I'm awake now, but they haven't felt their emotions, they haven't dealt with their stuff. And really, when you go around and you say that, you say, well, I'm awake now, well, that just kind of it gives you kind of permission to not deal with your stuff. But the 10 of Cups is here, and you need to continue. You need to continue to feel these emotions as they come through, and that is how you're going to get out of whatever the situation is that you're in after this tower moment, or through this tower moment. And then you're left with this 7 of Pentacles card here, which is quite interesting. The 7 of Pentacles has this individual here who's hoed all these pentacles, and he's spent so much time, so much energy on this particular situation, whether it was your health, whether it was your workspace, sitting in this state of unworthiness. All three of those it could be pertaining to here. And you're finally at the end of it, and you're just going, is this it? I've spent all these years, all this time, hoeing these pentacles, and is this it? And that's why it's interesting that it ends like that, because in the beginning that you have this awareness that's going on here. And I think it's because of this tower moment that you're sitting in, or you've just experienced, where you're finally going, wow, I've spent all these years doing this, and now you're going, it's like you're rising from, like I said, the phoenix from the ashes, going, wow, I realize now that there's got to be more out there for me. And so this is where you're sitting here right now. And yeah, it is awakening for you. It's in a huge awareness. And so what is in your shadow here that needs healing? What's in your shadow that's affecting this? And your 9 of Cups card comes out here. And the 9 of Cups is that card where it's not the 10, and you have the 10, in the first line, but the 9 is where you're sitting and you're quite comfortable where you are. It's like this woman smelling all these cups she has, and all these little, it's like she's taken her cups. And instead of feeling these emotions, she's kind of planted these flowers in them, and she's used the cups for something else now. And you've kind of decided to put everything away, and you're not willing to feel that 10th cup, because the 10th cup here is all those emotions that the universe wants you to feel, all of them. And so I'm wondering if, like, maybe you've in your shadow, you've kind of buried some things here. And it could be that you're in that awakening place where sometimes when people think, I'm done healing. This tower moment, that really made me, it's come out, and there's a lot going on, and then I'm done healing. It could be that too. But, the Nine of Cups reminds us that you always have more to heal. There's always more to heal. So maybe you have been sitting in a situation where it's kind of like, well, yeah, I'm done healing. And it could be because of the tower moment. But the universe wants you to take this wand here. There's a wand that's sitting in your shadow, and it's an offer. It's a gift, and it's in reverse, and it's blocked right now. But it's because, you need to look at it. Now, what's a wand? What does a wand mean? Well, a wand talks about our life purpose. If you think about this individual here, you're sitting here with, is this everything? I've committed my entire life to this, and this is it? Well, it's not it. And that's what the universe wants to point out here. It's not it. Because there's this wand, which is the new beginning, a new offer to looking at what else is out there for you. You did get the awakening card here, and that is the judgment card, and that's this awareness that opens up in us, and we start to realize there's got to be more out there for me. And it's in your shadow. There is something. Because what people don't realize is that when you start peeling away these layers of your trauma, when you start healing all your stuff, and we all have stuff, every single one of us has stuff in there, in our shadow. When we start feeling them and start digging them out, underneath all that, we discover that we do have these gifts. We have these talents that we never knew we had. We've buried them. And so there's something buried underneath that, kind of like, I'm good, I don't need to feel anymore. But there's more healing that needs to take place for you to access this Ace of Wands here. And the Eight of Pentacles comes up, which is quite interesting. The Eight of Pentacles card speaks about, and it's, you had the Seven here, now you have the Eight of Pentacles. This card speaks about doing a job, doing something, committing your time to something that you love doing. This individual has been making pentacles here for a while. And you can see that there's no strife on his face. He's not like, oh man, gotta go another day at my job. He's actually enjoying what he's doing. And so this tells me that there's something buried in your shadow. And maybe, obviously, I think you're feeling it. Like there's something else out there. Yeah, there's something buried in your shadow. But you got to do some healing to get to it, unfortunately. There's something in your shadow that's in there that, it's something that you would enjoy doing, and maybe you know what it is. Maybe you don't. A lot of times they're hidden. Tarot was one of my gifts that came from my own healing, and I didn't know that I wanted to do tarot. And then you have the Ten of Swords here. And the Ten of Swords, the swords, all about our authenticity. But our swords can also be about, we spoke about the Knight of Pentacles there, about wanting to be free. But I can see why you're not free, because these swords here, swords are our mental energy, it's our mental body. And swords can be the things that people told you about yourself, and you're going to find that in your shadow. There was probably something that you definitely wanted to do when you were younger, and you felt it, and maybe you know what it was, or maybe you don't, because oftentimes it's hidden in our unconscious. And when you were younger and you wanted to do something, oftentimes our caretakers, adults around us, told us, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. You're not smart enough to do that. Are you crazy thinking you can do that? That's not going to bring you any money. And so you've built up all through your life these swords that have prevented you. These belief systems, that's what swords are, that have told you why you can't do this. Sitting in your shadow is something that you are meant to do. That's something that's going to bring you a lot of joy. You're going to enjoy doing. But you have all these belief systems that have knocked you down when you were younger, that did you in and made you believe that you could not do this. You weren't allowed to do this. You should not do this. And that's what's sitting in your shadow. Wow, that's huge. And so I see here, there's something that you want to do, and it's sitting in your shadow. And so, guidance from the tarot here, what do we have? Well, the Lover's card comes out. Beautiful card. It's a major arcana card. It's a powerful card. 2 trees here. Look at these beautiful trees. They're almost like they're one because you couldn't separate them now. You can't separate them. Look at their roots. They're intertwined. And one is almost leaning on another one. So they've almost become one. And so this, when you look at this card, very much interpreted by other tarot readers as, you know, an intimate partner's coming. It's not about an intimate partner. It is about intimacy. It is about vulnerability. It is about becoming one. It is about a real intimate relationship. But the relationship here that the tarot wants you to begin is a relationship with yourself. An intimate relationship with yourself. It is really time here to start to get to know who you are. This Knight up here, this Knight of Pentacles, wants freedom. You know, we talked about authenticity. This word's come up a bit in this reading about finding out who you are and starting to finally, you know, go inwards. And we're going to find out about going inwards because this Queen of Swords here, this whole last line is going to talk about going inwards. This whole last line here is the Queen of Swords comes up first. The queens in my deck are about the feminine aspect of ourselves. We all have a masculine aspect, which is our ego self, which is really the one that drives the show. Everybody is pretty much in their ego self. But there's another side of us that we need to discover. And she's part of getting, you see these 2 parts, this Lover's card? Well, that's our masculine and our feminine side. That's joining those 2. That's becoming intimate with ourselves. The Queen of Swords. The Queen is all about getting back into our body, getting out of our head. You have all these swords that are sitting in your shadow, all these belief systems that you believe about yourself. And the universe wants you to start feeling here. And these are all feminine aspects. That the feeling part is a feminine aspect of ourselves, emotions. This particular queen, she's the feminine part, and she's all about authenticity. She wants you to finally get back into your body, get out of your head, out of your ego masculine self, but get back into your body, which is your feminine side, and find out who you are through your emotions. Find out who you are by healing some of your emotions. The 8 of Cups comes in, and this is a story about someone walking away. They're not walking away from their emotions. They're walking away to carve out some time for themselves so that they can deal with these emotions that they need to heal. You know, you need to start dealing with all of your emotions rather than being up in your head. You need to get back, and that's how you're going to start to really begin an intimate relationship with yourself, is to start to feel some of your emotions here. The 9 of Cups comes up again, 2nd time here. But this time it's saying, all right, we talked about these 9 of Cups that are in your shadow. It was the opening card here. Now the universe wants you to pull this sheet, this blue sheet off of this table here that he has all his trophies, all his emotions, where he's sitting here going, I'm good, I'm done, I don't need to feel anymore. But the universe wants to pull that blue sheet off of that table because you're not done. You're not done healing. We're never done healing. And I remember I was told that by my own life coach in my own healing. And I'm like, I didn't like that. I wanted an ending to this. I wanted an ending to all of my trauma. I wanted to be done healing. I'm still healing after all these years. And, you know, because healing is about when emotions come in, we feel them. And that's how we release them, right? Because this 9 of Cups is not at the end. You're not at the end of your 10 of Cups here. The universe wants to get you there. And finally, the last card comes in, and it's the 7 of Swords card. And this is an interesting card. This is blocked right now. There's a resistance here to looking at this, but let's look at it. Let's look at what you're resisting. Well, this individual this is called the Thief card. He's walking away from some camp. Well, he's sneaking away because he's stolen these swords. But look at how he's holding the swords. He's holding them by the tips, which is quite dangerous, Virgo. And it's because this individual has inherited or stolen these belief systems. That's what our swords are. They're these belief systems. We talk about these belief systems that you have in your shadow here that are preventing you from, you know, going in the direction you're meant to go in. But there's a resistance here to looking at what are my belief systems? What are these things I'm telling myself in my head that I've adopted or I've stolen or I've inherited from people that raised me that are sitting in my unconscious, my shadow? And so the universe wants you to look at these and say, are these mine? Do I believe this about myself? Do I believe this? That I can't do this? That I shouldn't do this? That I'm not allowed to do this? Do I believe that? Where does that come from? They're not yours. Someone else gave these to you. They're not yours. And so that's what the universe wants you to start to look at. These belief systems, because they need to be healed. They need to be healed. And that means there's a lot of emotions as well that are attached to them. So Virgo, an interesting reading for you today, for sure. Time to look at these belief systems. Are they yours? I'm going to leave you with, I think it's very important that you learn how to ground so that you can get back into your body and out of your head. And also how to process emotions, because this talked a lot about emotions. How to process our emotions when they come up. All right, so I'll see you in June, Virgo. And have compassion for yourself for what you're working through, and stay safe. Bye.